picked a great day to get mackerel fishing.
Welcome back to Pure Ocean TV. Today we're bringing you another nice episode on a warm, sunny day, and we're here with Terry Gibson again. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to plan for the day. So Terry's going to tell us a little about the factors going into today's decision.
Well, we've got a front coming. Check that out over there. And but it's right before the front gets here, so it's perfectly calm. You know, there's no wind hardly at all.
Okay.
And it's going to go around southwest eventually, which isn't a bad thing for us. But right now we got a chance to get out on the beach.
Right.
It's flat, calm, catch mackerel and pompano, enjoy a rebuilt species. And then as the front comes back through, I think the inshore bite will really turn on, and we'll get back to those, to trout and redfish and stuff like that.
So is there any tide going into the decision today, or?
Yeah, we're going to have the same tides we had yesterday. You know, right before dark, we should see the first push of incoming tide.
Okay.
And that should help turn on, bring in the warm water and help turn on the inshore bite.
Good.
Out on the reef, out here where the mackerel and stuff are, it doesn't really matter as long as it's moving.
As long as it's moving.
As long as it's moving.
We're in our flats boat. We got calm conditions, so stay tuned and check out what we get.
Yeah, Luke, you can catch plenty of Spanish on wire, never lose a jig, or you can catch all you want on heavy fluorocarbon and lose the occasional jig.
Yeah.
So what I like to use is 50, 60 pound fluoro to light spin rod.
Busy.
Keep the action busy. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
We're gonna rig up a 60-pound fluorocarbon leader with lure like this. What do you call this lure, Terry? What would you?
That's a Gulfstream jig. It's just a chartreuse and pearl flash of a jig. Chartreuse is almost always the color for Spanish, especially clear water. Some days are fussier than others. Some days I caught them on a bare hook, quite literally.
Yeah.
But that jig right there is by far the universal producer. Only exception to that is sometimes they're feeding on really tiny stuff. If you're fly fishing, you can outfish a guy that's been around 10 to 1.
Really?
Some days.
We're going to do a little fly fishing.
Yeah, we're just fly fishing out there too. Yeah.
Bring you a little
These little
variety.
minnows look a lot like that jig, but it's smaller.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a great day for it.
Yeah, a couple months back, Terry told us about this massive run of Spanish mackerel down in his hometown, Stuart, over here in Peck Lake, so we've had to come down and check it out. Terry, why don't you give us a brief history of how this came about and how the resources have come about today?
Well, obviously it's no secret. This is Peck Lake. What you have here, you can see the reefs and the swells stacking up on the reefs. And this is the northern end of the coral reef tract. It comes up out of about 30 feet of water to about 10 feet, depending on the tide. And then it's pretty much sand and patch reef all the way to the beach. So they call this the lake part of it, Peck Lake part of it. And in the winter, Spanish mackerel move in here by, I've heard numbers thrown around like 20 million pounds of Spanish.
Wow.
Coming in here.
Huge numbers.
Huge numbers. And it's just the greatest, as a guide, and it's just the greatest thing. It's all calm. It's even mildly rough. You can take clients out here, they catch Spanish, they're tired of it all winter long.
Yeah.
And they're great eating fish. And this great resource for the community. It brings millions and millions of dollars into this community, both through commercial fishing and recreational fishing. The point is that if you take a cautious approach to fisheries management, and you leave a little bit of a buffer in there for all the uncertainties, you don't just take as many as you think you can take without impacting the population. Just leave a little bit of buffer in case something you don't understand goes wrong. And there's a lot of things going wrong out here that we don't understand.
Yeah, it's bringing people here to the coast, so check out what we're going to do. Terry's going to show you some fly action, and we're going to try some jigs and some other tactics, but stay tuned, it's going to be good.
All right. Cool. These jigs, you just want to get them out as far from the boat as you can. Count them down to the bottom, and you count to about 10 or so.
Okay.
And then you just want to rip them all the way back.
So after you let that initial sink get to the bottom, then just rip it.
If you don't get anything, sometimes like halfway back, I'll drop it again. They like to hit it coming up. Like all mackerel, they like the sky on things.
Yeah.
So they like to hit it.
Approach from the bottom and coming up to the surface.
Yeah. Oh, yep, there they are.
Yeah, the
they're
right
everywhere.
behind you.
So get your line on the water. All right. I think I can figure that out.
Terry just had 10 mackerel right behind his lure as he came up to the boat.
Yeah.
The mackerel was swirling around the boat.
Oh, there he was.
We were in them real thick and kind of drifted off, and so we're going to circle back around and try to get back over top of them. They're literally just migrating through this whole reef, just schooling.
Here. Get him? Oh, missed him.
Later, so cool. Yeah, maybe like.
There you go. All right.
All right.
You guys want to take some home for dinner?
Yeah. Nice Spanish mackerel. Later, we're going to show you a little outdoor cooking with Jake. Here. Better do that sink, about 10 seconds. Start working. See him coming behind it? Oh, there we go. Do a whole school of following it. Following that guy. Nice.
This is also one of the greatest saltwater fly fishing opportunities in the world in terms of pure action. Again, you just catch a fluorocarbon leader, just a standard Clouser minnow, but I use a long shank hook, and I tie the fly at the back of the hook, so the shank gives you a little bit of basically leader material. Basically, it's like a piece of wire. Now this one's pink because I use it for pompano. It's kind of my pompano fly when there's mackerel around, so I don't get cut off every 3 casts. But usually pink is like second to chartreuse with the max. So, but using these long shank hooks and tying Clousers on the back end of the shank, it's a great way to give yourself just a little bit of leader. It's a pretty heavy sinking line. It sinks real fast, and I've got a softer rod here. This is actually one of Loomis's bass bug tapers. It's designed to throw something bulky and big. I like a little softer rod for casting these things, but basically you just want to get the stuff out, get the line out of the boat, nice and easy, and just let the line, the momentum of a heavy sinking line like that will get the fly out of the boat for you. Cast. Same thing, strip sinking it down, and then the strip. There we go. Oh, lost him, but that's okay, there'll be another. Again, you got your line coiled down here on the deck. So you get the line coiled down the deck. And the big thing, a good way to start a cast with a heavy sinking line is with a roll cast right by the boat. Then you can pick it up. You don't want to do a ton of false casts. And just let it go. It's like a 60-foot cast. Effortless. Everybody thinks it's hard to throw. It takes a lot of effort to throw a sinking line. No, it doesn't. It takes less effort. So point the rod straight at the fly, even down in the water a little bit. When you strip, you come way past your back hip. Where did you go, guys? Oh, there you are. On the pickup. Losing it. Let me show you that strip one more time, and then there's show you another way to do it. How you strip is really important. A lot of guys will stand up here like this, but look at the slack in your line between the rod tip and the lead and the water. It makes it really hard to keep the slack out. So you want to point the rod tip right at the fly. You can put the rod tip in the water and strip back past your hip, which left hip if you're a right-hander. Oh, right in the boat.
Miss him at the boat.
Yeah, I just missed him at the boat. That's a big strip. There he is, right at the boat. This is an 8-weight rod. I love coming out here. I just broke my 6-weight. I use like a 6-weight, even lighter than these guys. It's such great sport. You notice I have a little more line out than I actually need. So after I get this fish in, I'm gonna reel some of that up so I can play the fish on the reel, not just on the line like I am right now. Oh, lost him. Perfect release.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. Nice. It's pure right there, pure ocean. Pure Ocean TV. Catch hot action every week. Commercial zone right here. How many commercial fishermen fish this area?
hundredths.
Got gold eyes and a silver hook. Let's see if we can do it here. Yeah. There he is. Gold eyes and a silver hook. See, this fish took me to the reel, so I'll fight him on the reel. Probably a little better fish. But when you fight a fish, even though these mackerel aren't particularly huge, they're fast. And they can turn so quickly that when they turn, they can use the drag from the fly line to shed the hook. So you always want to keep your rod tip moving away from the direction, down and away from the direction they're moving. Helps keep that fly firmly in their jaw. This is better fish. And again, you got to watch that high stick, and even a little mackerel like that will break your rod. Little torpedoes. You guys mind grabbing that line? I'm never gonna get him in the boat. There. We got left on that. Oh, we got a little hair left there.
You're
Huh?
doing pretty good. He's still pretty good.
A little bit of hair left.
Just want to tell you that the proof's in the pudding. You know, conservation really does go a long way, and you can see how this fishery's bounced back. And you got charter guys out here, commercial guys, and just recreational guys, and we're all having a good time catching fish, and that's what it's all about. And Terry, would you like to add anything?
We need to be really, really careful and make sure these fish are here for young guys like us and for our kids and for their kids.
And the future generations, and that's what Pure Ocean TV is focusing on, that message. And any way we can do that, we're going to show you and our viewers, you know, how we can impact the earth and how we can keep it for our children's children.
We got dinner in the box. Let's leave them biting and go catch pompano.
Thanks, Terry.
Okay.